Right, Sylvia. So we're finally here at the end of 6 weeks and at the end of 4 more weeks. And I can't help but think back to when we started, when we first had our conversation, and where we were, how you were feeling, and what you were looking for. So tell me a bit about the period just before um, the challenge, and how generally what your life was like then.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of the life before, I will say that I did have my challenges because I thought I knew everything I needed to know to really work on my health. And it was very frustrating because all my life I've been very fit, well, I guess I thought so. And anytime I had like a whole bump in weight gain, either because I was on vacation or I was going through something, I was able to like quickly either work out more or do some remedies and get there. And then at some point it just hit me. Probably about, honestly, maybe 7 years ago, but most of 3 years ago, that nothing I tried was working no matter what. So that was so frustrating to me because, and even my kids will say this, and anybody who knows me, when you look at the diet that I have, I eat really good. I mean, I don't take any sugars, I don't take stuff like that, but it's like, then why am I in this situation? So I was in a really low place when, before we touched base, but more so, I think I started to give up and lose just faith in myself as coming out of a really 10-year relationship that didn't work out well. And then lost both of my parents within a time frame of almost a year or so. So that depression adding in, and then we have to be honest, with me, with the, growing older, menopause challenges, hormones changing. So there's a lot going on. So if you ask me how I felt, anybody that knew me or has always known me, I'm this stylish chick that just always dresses good. I couldn't even wear heels, to be honest with you. I had spent probably 3 years without wearing heels.
That's a big deal.
Yes, and I'm a heel chick. I mean, go to my closet now. I have almost 100 pairs of shoes and I couldn't wear them. Yes, absolutely. I am not even exaggerating. That's the kind of person, because every outfit I wore had to have its color. So that's what I was, and I couldn't. And then the dressing also. So I've been someone that has been really, I've never been overweight per se, to a point where you go to the store and hey, here's the latest outfits, and you look and it's like, ooh, sorry, your size is way beyond. So those were all the emotions I was dealing with. But the biggest part of it was a health scare I had. And Jerry, I will tell you that before I touched base with you, I had a really bad scare. So I went in to see my doctor for a whole different reason. My knees are aching. What's going on? I can't walk anymore. I can't take the stairs to go to my room. And I'm thinking, oh, it's just a regular old age arthritis. We have it in our family. And then, as they usually do, the nurse comes in to take my normal vites. And then she looks at my vitals, and the expression on her face, she said, hold on. She walks out, and before I know it, it's like all these folks coming in, like real medical, it's an emergency. And then my doctor looks at me and says, how did you get here? I said, I drove. What's the big deal? She says, we can't let you go. My pressure, yes, my pressure. And I kid you not, when I tell people, they say, how did that happen? My pressure was 250 over 169.
What?
Yes. And so she said, you can't do that. We have to keep you here. So immediately all these gadgets, everything else is going on me. And I'm like, this is crazy. I walked here. That was the beginning of a journey to me that, Sil, get your act together, because it's in the family. Both my parents had hypertension, diabetes. Thank God I didn't have that then. But it's like, this is a journey towards disaster. And I'm thinking, okay, what can I do different to make a difference? So anyway, long story short, which thank God for social media, Jerry, because I had heard of you, but it wasn't like you were in my circle where I even knew what was going on. To me, it was like, oh, here she goes dancing, her Zumba gigs, and I love Zumba. I'm like, I'm staring, will I learn something out of her dances? That was really the connection. Then you show this, and I'm like, okay. But for the grace of God, I reached out to you. And when I reached out to you, you said something. Oh, yeah, so that was it. But then Denise, you had a picture of Denise. And I said, is she making up this stuff? What's going on here? I said, it doesn't hurt to reach out, right? Let me just reach out. So I reach out to you. And we talk, you give me the timeline for it. And as always, my excuse is like, yeah, I can't do this. My daughter's graduation is coming up and so on. And I actually, frankly, expected you to say, oh, maybe we'll squeeze you in the middle of the program or something. You were adamant. You're going to start then. And I'm like, okay, this chick now, what the heck? Didn't you just hear what I said? I mean, why would I start the program? But you challenged me and you said, it's going to be life for you. So no matter where you're at, you're going to have to figure yourself out, and you need to be able to work through whatever it is. And you had, now looking back, you had a point, because that was just one incident. There's going to be more coming up. So how do I deal with them? So when you said that, I said, there's just something about Jerry. I don't even know who she is, but why do I trust this woman? Why? And I remember telling myself this. I said, what will I lose? Worst case scenario is, 1, I lose the money I've invested in. 2, I get out saying, yeah, I already knew all this. So what do I lose? So I walked in by faith. So that was my scenario when before I joined the program.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to actually continue. So then you join the program.
Okay. All right. I thought you had said. So then I get it. All right, let's go. So then I get into the program. And this was really another interesting aspect of it. Every prior wellness challenge I've tried, or diet, whatever, there is like a book or so. So you get all this documentation before the program begins, right? Like, blah, 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 you do this. There's the whole food menu of what you take for 2 weeks. And then you do these workouts. It's like all literally there for you. So then come that week, I'm looking in my inbox, Jerry, are we studying this week? Why haven't you sent anything? Nothing. I'm like, okay. And I'm my personality, those who know me, I honestly don't like hurting people's feelings. I'm working on it, because sometimes it works against me, but it's like, I don't want to make people feel bad. So let me not put pressure on her. 2 days go by. Why is the challenge? What's going on? So then finally, I reach out, or did I reach out? Or maybe you put it in, maybe folks were asking questions. Did we start yet? What's going on? And you have such a laid back approach that frankly in the beginning was annoying to me. I'm like, where is she going with this? Eh? What's going on? And then honestly, you surprised me because this wasn't about a menu so that we right on get through. You're more like talking to us and getting us to a place where it's about the mindset. Then you sent the first video, week 1. Gosh, that video blew my mind, honest to God. And to me, if there's anything I still go back to, it's that video, week 1. Because, and I say this for anybody that has to take this journey, you have to be prepared. And it's not about the pills you take, you're trying to lose weight, the workouts, or the food. It's who are you? And that's where you got us started. So it flipped my mind, which was good, because it flipped my mind from I need to lose X amount of pounds during this time frame to, gosh, who are you? And who are you was a bigger question than losing weight. Who are you took me deep into areas I had been hiding away from for a long time. I needed to know the core of myself. I needed to be able to recognize that this journey was just not about food, wasn't about losing weight. It was a transformation. And I took a step back because for a moment, as much as I wanted the journey, I think we all kind of want quick results.
Absolutely.
And that's where we go wrong. And I had to say, am I ready for this work? But then I remember like shortly after that, you sent, I think it was a chat or something. You're like, guys, chill, because everybody I think was kind of feeling the way I was. They're like, stop asking these questions about food and about diet. We'll get there. Pause. Week by week, this is what we're gonna do. So I went by faith with that. And what was amazing to me was this, like I said, this wasn't about food. This was about really discovering myself. And I've even thought about it with the programs you have and everything else, and I'm sidetracking, but this is important, is how do you promote what you do? Because I think most people are like me. Immediately they say, oh, we've tried all these diets. This is a whole transformation. This is not just about food. So how you get people that are coming from different aspects of life to recognize that, walk through this, you have nothing to lose because you are gaining more than just, if you lose weight, great. But the benefits of even knowing the foods, I think Denise mentioned it recently where she said, me knowing what foods not even touch. Who doesn't want to benefit? I don't care if you're in shape or so. You know, there's a difference between being fit and healthy. You could be as fit as heck, but are you healthy? Who doesn't want to go back to the basics of being healthy? And this is what this program is about. And once you fix your mind on that, yes, it changes everything. And I was sharing this with Denise, my buddy. I said, for some reason now, I don't even want to hear about I lost all these pounds or hearing about this. I just want to hear how you're doing with being healthy, how you're doing with the choices you're making, how you're dealing with life, you know? So this was the progress. And I'm not going to say, yes, I definitely want, and I to see myself go back to who I was. But my goodness, I think we said this because 2 days ago, when I weighed myself, I said, Jerry, this don't make no sense, because the last time I was size 10 or so, I weighed 180 pounds, and now here I am. I'm on 236, and I'm just a size of what happened here, And oh my God, it's like, this is a story beyond, it's so key to recognize it's not about those pounds you lose. The journey we went through, the 6 weeks, for me was so healing in many ways. There was the emotional side of it that this gave me hope. It gave me hope that, my goodness, there are so many people, first of all, that are going through the same things that I'm going through, which is what the program really presented, with every one of us kind of coming from all different backgrounds. So that was good. But then I remember the information that you shared when we were going through the intermittent fasting. It was so powerful to me, because I'll be honest with you, and I am like, every year when Lent comes, I really want to fast and pray, and I can't even go through 6 hours of fasting. And that was another thing when you introduced it. I said, here we go. I can't do this because I can't fast, right? I have tried it for spiritual reasons. But then that's another message out, even to those who, it's like, you can't divide who we are, spiritually, emotionally, mental, physically. It's a package, because that's what happened to me. So I took that leap of faith, and the healing to me, a lot of the powerful story for me is the healing. Because when I started this challenge, I wish my son was here and he could talk, my 10-year-old, and he would talk to you. He'd be like, I actually had thought about finding another house because I couldn't do stairs anymore. Absolutely. I was already thinking about a ranch kind of house where I don't have stairs. I don't have to deal with that. Yes, because my kids can testify to this. I would take the stairs one at a time in pain all the way, and I have 14 steps to get to upstairs to my room, and I would take my time until I said, gosh, I didn't even think at this age I would be having to do all that, so maybe let me find a house, right? So it's funny now, and I think I need to I don't even know if I ever took a video. I have to look back and see of how I used to go up and how I now just go running up. It's like, hey, Mom, I could not go through those stairs, right? But the pain, I had developed a limp, and it became, I'm actually still working through mentally, because if I had to get through stairs, and what the brain would tell me, you gotta take your time and do this, right? Now I have to recognize, no, I'm not that person anymore. Stop, So the limp is gone. The pain in my knees is gone. Wow. Hypertension. Remember the story when I started, how my pressure was all this high. I'm not taking medication. My doctor told me, she said, oh, I don't know about this, if it's a fad. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, every day that I take this medication, it's a risk, the side effects to my kidneys and all that. And I had to tell her, I said, you won't be responsible for this, but can you let me prove this? I need to wean myself away from this. Trust me. I have my pressure machine. I'll check myself anytime I feel, boom, it's gone up. I have the medication with me, but I need to wean myself off. She said, no, you can't. I said, just trust me.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, and she does not know this, she'll kill me, but we have an evaluation soon. I stopped because to me, I said, I have to know, I have learned, that's what you taught me, to listen to my body. And I'm not just gonna take, you don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, so you can't tell me that. Medications aside, gone. But the biggest part of it was the fibroids, because I've had endometriosis, I think since, 1998, so how many years are those? I had challenges, yes. And for some reason, every time I had like 5 fibroids, 3 of them were really huge. One was right in the front. So every time, even when I had my kids, I had to have a C-section because of the risk of the extra bleeding and then the placenta previa. With my oldest twins, actually, the umbilical cord was strangling her. So I've always done a C-section. And every scan, every year, I diligently go to do my pap smear. And because I'm a high risk because of that, they would also do check, look at the fibroids, how they stand and all that. And so with this situation here, the interesting part was, which I shared with you, and I remember I first shared in private because I was like, is this normal? When I got a period, I'm like, is this a joke? Had this in 2 years, what's going on? So for me mentally, because now I was learning to listen to my body, I knew that this had to do with a transformational change, but I still said, let me take my due diligence and go to my
go and see the doctor.
Just in case. I go there and she's like, oh, we gotta schedule it right away. Oh, we need to schedule it. But even with then, she had looked at me and said, girl, you look so different. Yeah? Which was even funny. She said, can you remind me again, what's your website for your Zumba classes? And I'm like, you got this so wrong, lady. This has nothing to do with that. I can gladly give it to you, but this ain't the story. Yeah. So she immediately gets me in to my OBGYN, and I go in, and for a moment I got nervous because now my OBGYN is really panicking. Oh my God, this is an emergency. We probably
after 50.
Yes, it's like, oh my God, this is not good. You said over 2 years, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we need to do this biopsy and what? And then my faith for a moment was shaken. And I remember praying and I said, God, you can't do this to me now. With this
Not when I'm feeling so great.
Yes. How can this be? And the enemy is real, because usually the results will come out like a day or two. Jerry, these results didn't come for over a week. And that week,
way.
what's out there? So she calls me after that week and she says, girl, I don't even know, because we can't even see those fibroids. They are gone.
No way.
Yes, they are gone. We can't. I said, what do you mean? She says, here. So she sends me via my chat. I look online. There's not a single fibroid at all.
After all those years.
Yes. Yes.
After having C-sections with your children. How old are the girls now?
The girls, my oldest is 30. So the
30 years.
30, the twins, yes.
Wow.
Gone completely. There's nothing.
Oh, wow.
And then it actually even made sense, because when I used to like hold my tummy in the front, there was always kind of like a lump in the front, and that was really the fibroid. Now, when I look at my tummy, there is nothing. That swelling is gone. So that is like amazing. So she said everything is fine. Pap smear came out good. You're good. So
Wow.
that is a miracle. The other thing I'll tell you in terms of healing was, because I think I've mentioned this to you, I've been anemic for a long time, which is one of the reasons why fasting was so hard for me. And because I was severely anemic, literally, I woke up in the morning with headaches to a point where when folks talk about headaches, I don't even, to be honest, I think I'm insensitive because every day was a really mega painful headache for me. But I learned to live through that because no medications would help. I would take like really strong medications to help with the headaches. I don't know about a headache anymore. I don't even know when I had a headache. Oh yeah, I don't even know. It's like, I don't know about headache. I'm serious. I do not know about headaches. Okay, that's
Oh my God.
and to feel normal, because it's really funny because I never knew what life was without a headache. My norm was a headache. So now it's as though I'm kind of banging my head to figure out, it's
Looking
like,
for it. Like, where
yeah.
is it? Where's my head? First of all, like,
Yeah.
it's normally pounding here. Where is it?
Right. It's like, why are we just feeling it? Especially, I used to feel so much of it here. So it's like, am I inviting this to come? But it's because it had become my norm, right?
Yes.
And that's gone. That is gone.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
This to me is such a powerful story beyond, I can't even tell you, honestly, I can't. This is huge.
I knew. So I always knew that, and I knew that this is truth. I've known about fasting for years. And the first person I heard about fasting from was Denise. And because Denise was not religious when I was,
right.
I was like, it's the whole, she's not religious. She grew up in America. I thought that was the issue. But then she started fasting and I thought, I cannot fast. Like I made peace with that a very long time ago. I had never tried to fast. I don't care what the situation was. I just kept saying, God, there has got to be another way for us to connect at a deeper level.
I was saying that for a lot of things that I've learned now, you mentioned something earlier. You said what you were picking up from everything I was teaching was that we're going back to the basics. And it's funny that I woke up in the middle of the night. These days I sleep, eat, drink, all this information. Like when I wake up in the middle of the night, all I think about is the program and
right.
The back to basics last night was so strong in my head. And I said, yeah, we are actually just going back to the basics. We're not learning anything new, not inventing, some funky anything. And for me, it was always going back to what did our great grandparents know that was not taught to them. That means that it had to be wisdom that came down from above. So I knew that fasting was, it had to be the tool that God gave us that was going to help us in so many aspects of our lives. Now, to see everything, and for so many people, but I just feel like still your articulation of it, the list of things that have changed for you, I mean, just floor me. And they're big. They are all huge. To have a headache every single day and then it's gone. To have a limb in your house, going to your bedroom every single day to struggle going up the stairs. And now you can run up the stairs. To have fibroids all, for as long as you can remember, your children are now 30. To have endometriosis, that means every single month, your period is very heavy. That's a big deal. It's just so many things. To have high blood pressure, to be on pressure medication, and to know that this medication, because what happens is that your brain says you don't need the medication anymore.
Yeah.
Think, how are you
Yes.
feeling? But the doctors always worry that, maybe we can't trust this person to continue on the path they've chosen.
Yes.
And your heart is saying, we are no longer at a place where we need the medication. I mean, it's not have a period. Oh my God, for 2 whole years, like I'm free. Then it comes back.
Sometimes it comes before my daughter is graduating. I had my dress all laid out.
Yes. Now you have to start thinking, oh my God, I need to buy tampons again. I need to start planning. Like, I need the app again.
Yeah.
All are such big deals for it to come back, and especially to come back when the doctors are saying, oh my God, this is not good.
Yeah.
So it does not tally with what you're feeling. It does not tally with what you've been doing, with what you now know. Obviously, you're thinking, did I make a mistake? Am I feeling good, but have I done something else to myself? Or, like, oh my God. And then you go and something you have struggled with, like another huge tick to say fibroids are gone. I always say, sometimes we are treated by doctors for a long time for a particular, and all you did was change the food because you've been exercising. You didn't like start exercising. You've been exercising. I'm exercising. But when I went back to the basics with the food and to understand the body, suddenly there is healing happening on all levels, and you cannot have that level of healing on a physical and it does not heal you in the spiritual or mental space.
Amen.
It's impossible,
Absolutely.
And then up here, it's clouded,
Yes.
So even the mental clarity at the event that I spoke at yesterday, I asked, I said, who knows what mental clarity, what clarity looks like or what it feels like?
Yeah.
And so people kind of looked at me and I said, yeah, you actually can only know that I have clarity when you're clearer. Like,
yes.
Otherwise, every day we think, every day we function. So we think we are clear and we are seeing things as they are. It's only when you change that you can, like, I'm not dwelling on certain thoughts. I'm able to weave through the thoughts or, sift through them and find truth. And also, the next act, these are things that you kind of miss when you have that mental fog or you lack the clarity.
Yes.
You think about situations and everything just seems either a bit hopeless or a bit hard. So I'm just thinking, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God, so much, because it's fantastic.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, Jerry, I have been praying, and God, the one thing He's shown me, and I pray that He shows you, is a special group that we don't talk about. And that's the group of people that have HIV positive and AIDS. I think they would benefit so powerfully with your program, because all this medication they're being pumped with daily to keep them going. And it's like, how about just a change of your diet? Think about your point, the foods, the power. Do you know what's amazing to me now, and even the kids know it, is how intentional I am. And I'm intentional because I'll look at the food, and my daughter will say this, she just left now. She left, so one of the things that I honestly have been diligent about, I get my salads, I get all this, but it's like, I ate them without recognizing, other than, oh, you see a healthy picture, but being selective as I'm gonna grab that pumpkin, there's power in that pumpkin, this is what I need, and so on. It's like, how do we help groups like that are so pumped with medication with so many side effects that, honest to God, it's a matter of them doing the fasting to get the healing?
Yes.
And then combined with these foods.
Healthy food that we have, for example, here, we have lots of it. And we can grow it in our backyards.
Yes.
You know, in little gardens.
Yes. So to me, it's like, it's been so much on me that I dream about it. And honestly, I want to share with you, it's like, your message, I mean, the work you're doing, there's a group here, and it's like, how best does one reach out to this group? You know, because there's healing in there. And I believe there'll be stories. And I'm a clear example, because if I can get rid of fibroids, I can get rid of it, because it's all about the immune system, right? So it's like, if you can shake and wake your immune system, then anybody that's out there with HIV, if their immune system is boosted, then they're
anybody
healed.
can.
You know,
absolutely.
So it's like the message that goes out, you know, is like, how do you, with this powerful message, with this powerful program that you have, with proved results, be able to kind of tweak this in a way that there's healing here, there's healing. You know, I think about people like Dr. Sebi, who passed away. There was not much evidence in even what he said, but there was truth in some of what he was saying with the alkaline, you know, foods and so on. But Jerry, your program, honestly, is way above and beyond that, because it's touching that, number one, for me, I believe for anybody to have changes, you have to get to that moment where there's that connection with everything that's happening spiritually to you, emotionally.
Absolutely.
It's like a whole comeback moment.
Absolutely.
And I felt for me that week 1 and week 2, probably, I was still in healing, where I didn't even care about food or my weight. And even now, to tell you the truth, and this is the honest truth, I'm not even faking it or what, I am walking in confidence, where I don't care if I'm a size 2 or a size 20. How do I feel? I feel good. I have never felt this way, where I walk with, I don't even care about any judgment or whatever. I don't even, it's just, there's just something about me.
There's a newness. There's a newness in you.
That is like, who is this person? Eh? And I'm like, oh my God. The other thing I want to tell you, I don't think I mentioned this, is I actually have resigned from pretty much every consulting job I was doing. I'm going to focus on my one job at the university, where I'm the, you know, do IT, the director, and doing stuff, because I feel you allowed me room to discover more about myself. And I can't be too busy to miss the opportunity to search that, because I feel there is a big source of me that I haven't been able to do. And I don't care. And it's a risk I'm taking, because this is like, oh my God. And I talked to my kids about this and the timing, because my daughter is going to college and what. And I said, we've been very comfortable, even with my one job. I don't need to work an extra job, but I've been busy, because you keep thinking, you're focused, oh, I'll get this more money. And this ain't about money. This is about me and my life. So I have let go. As of August 25th, I am finding myself, and I know there's going to be power in this, and I am comfortable with the decisions I made. Jerry, you have opened me to be in a place where I can really find my purpose. I don't want this busyness anymore in my life. No. I'm doing this one job. And everybody's looking at me like, girl, are you nuts? I am doing this. And this came from this program. And I believe, because I can't leave this world without fully knowing and engaging with my true self here. But how do you do it when you're all over the place? I'm running
so
Chicago,
busy.
LA, I'm doing all this. No, one job. I'm remaining back to my one job, which will allow me so much room to find me. Jerry, I did this as a result of the program. And I know I have more stories to tell because there's bigger things to come out of this decision I've made.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My God, Sylvia. You know, if there's anything that I've been praying for, is that my big struggle is that I find one thing, I love it so much that in it I see other places where I want to also be effective, where I want to be relevant, where I want to help people. And I'm always thinking, even the program, I was thinking, so I'm doing this with the program, but I'm not really talking to people like to help them heal. And then I say to God, I don't know how to be all these things at the same time.
Yeah.
So let me just be where I am. And what you're telling me is that, and I always talk to Denise in New Zealand.
Yes.
I'm always telling her these things. And she says, Jerry, you just have to learn to be here now. Do what you need to do and do it fully. Don't worry about the other things. Yes. Because somehow Source is going to make the other things work.
Yes.
Now, when you say that this program is helping you, even in the areas that I would have wanted to come in and say, how do I help you? That means if I continue the way I am, then it opens up doors for everyone to find their healing. Somebody told me, well, many people have told me I should do, I should get a counseling certificate or license or whatever. And I keep saying, I don't want to become a counselor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to be a job. But when I meet a person who's struggling, I want to have one session with them. And I always do. Yes. In that session, I don't care how big your problem is. Yes. I just turn the person, I spin them around, and then I stop and I say, all the problems are there, but there is you.
Yes.
Who are you?
Yes.
Who are you in this? I'm taking care of this, or this is falling apart. Who are you? Do you understand that there is a power inside of you that you're not allowing? And I want to do one session with a person and they go away with, their brain has cracked open and they're starting to think. Suddenly they've come out of that shell. And so if I can do food, the fasting, if I can teach us the basics again, and that brings the level of healing that we're talking about here, then I mean, I have done it. I have nailed it. And I just feel like after this, I just want to lie down and I say, God, I don't know how to thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how to thank you. I don't know how to thank you, because I can send Sylvia out into the world knowing that everybody around her is better because of her.
Yeah.
The children see a new mom and they appreciate and they learn from you. And I always say, as mothers, we effect change in the people around us when we fully embody that change ourselves.
Exactly.
We can't talk if we're not doing.
Yes.
But when they see this, when they see that mommy could not go up the stairs without whinging and without even
Yes.
thinking about getting a new house, and now she can,
Yes.
how can they fail tomorrow?
Exactly.
When you say, you know what, you can do it, they say, you know what,
Mhm.
she knows where she's coming from.
Absolutely.
She has lived it.
Yes. And that's the truth. And to be honest with you, in a future time, I would like you to have an interview with Gabe, my son and my daughter, because this is just not my story. Let them
Yes.
tell you how this program has changed their mom. And I will step away and just let them talk, because there's so much, you know, and like you just said, they would always, like, going up the stairs was painful to a point where somebody's like, one of my oldest, my daughter is behind me. So the twins are older and gone and moved on. They have their own homes and everything else. But I have the younger two. One would be at the back, the other one is at the front, because it's like mama might fall or something. And I'm like holding on to the rails and go.
That's
and
bad.
yes. And they got so used to it that even now, and this is where sometimes a bad attitude comes, because someone is still at the back waiting, and I'm like, what are you doing behind me? Like I've really forgotten that I really needed that support, right? And I'm like literally walking through. Jerry, I would go stair by stair, and I'm holding like this, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to sell my house. I've been in this house. I bought this house in 2007. And
now you were thinking
I'm like,
of selling
it's time to sell, get a ranch based, no stairs.
At 50, at
yes,
early 50.
Can you imagine? Yeah, that's how bad it was. It was terrible. And then even to your point, when you talk about finding yourself, and to me, that's the power, is that this goes beyond the 6 weeks. Because for me to be able, and like I say that, and anybody who knows me, I'm like a total workaholic. Okay? I don't even need to be working like this, but that's just how I was raised. I saw my dad, you know, trying to survive as a professor at Makerere. He's teaching, he's doing this, he's doing. So that was the mode I knew. It was always, you're doing this. And for me to look back, I said, did he even know who he was before he passed away?
Yeah.
And I don't think so, because that was what was going on. And let me tell you, I have this decision for me to say I am, and when I tell you that I said I'm cutting everything and I'm trusting God, and sometimes the devil will come in like the last few weeks, ooh, so what's gonna happen? You were able to do this and that. Are you gonna be able to do this? I'm like, I don't care, because I know who I am. My son was telling me the other day, he said, I appreciate you, Mama, because I think we're going to have some good quality time. And he mentioned, he said, I like the way now that we're doing Tuesdays, because that's another change that came out of it, was I tried to figure out, how do I get them onto the same journey that I'm on, because I don't want it to be just me. I don't want it to be Mama is making meals for herself.
Yes.
How do they say this? So, but then at the same time, you don't kind of want to shock them like right away and make changes.
Yeah.
So what I decided was, every week, once it's our time, we cook together, and it's one special meal. Do you know he looks forward to that? We do that on Tuesdays. And he looks forward, he's like, oh my God, I got time with Mama. I spent time with Mama. Jerry.
He's not too busy anymore.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We're cooking and he's ingrained in the food and everything else.
Oh my God.
This, for me, this has
Sylvia.
been such an experience. And now I will say, alongside that, it also has made me like shown me who my true friends are and who are not,
Mhm.
which I'm grateful
Mhm.
for,
Mhm.
because some people don't like when you change, when you
Yeah,
make,
of
some people are
course.
really upset because, oh, you're not coming to hang out with us and do this. And I'm thinking, who wouldn't be happy for me when I tell you I'm
Yeah.
healed, I don't have all this, and you still have an attitude?
Yeah.
So you've also helped me kind of weed and fear out,
Yeah.
I'm knowing my circle and loving my circle. Sometimes it gets lonely because it's like, oh, I thought I could
Yeah.
do this. No, but it's
Yeah.
building me to who I need
Yes.
to be. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I lost so many friends. And listen, some of them are friends that we lose because they're not good for us. Some of them are friends that we lose because it's when we're doing self-discovery,
Yes.
you can very easily start asking people, trying to validate certain things that you're feeling.
Yes.
And then they're not feeling, and they're not where you are. So they will say, you can't quit those consultancies. Come on. And then do what?
Yes.
So you need to be alone sometimes, so that, and this is what, God does. When he sees you're in that space, he's like, oh, great. He removes those people, and then now you can hear yourself clearer.
Yes. Amen.
And you know that this decision is going to serve me. It's scary.
Yes.
And I don't know where I'm going, but I'm ready to take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And the only person then you can trust, or the only thing you can trust, is God. Because you're like, you know what, God, we're going, but I need you. I need you, because
Amen
I'm
to
going to
that.
put my foot over
Yes.
this balcony, and you had better hold me. I'm
Yeah.
giving you full responsibility.
Yes.
You can't do
Amen.
that when your friends are with you. And some of them will come back, and it will almost seem like they never left. It's even confusing.
Yeah.
But you just know that you needed time away from them. What you're
Yes.
saying about spending time with your son, the cooking on Tuesdays, like,
Yes.
I just could hug you through
Yes.
this, it is so powerful, because my God,
Yeah.
it's
He
like you
even
give them
recorded
back.
one session. That's how overwhelmed he was. He recorded one session. He said, can I be doing this? It's like, yeah, be cooking. And he uploaded it to his, because he has his YouTube channel. It's like, time with my mom. Did you know those are precious moments that money can't even buy?
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we lose them. So
Yes.
many parents lose their children because you're trying to make money. The short period you're with them, you're like, do this, don't do this, be a better person, be all these things. But you're not, when you cook together, again, back to the basics. How were children raised back then? Parents were not saying this to you every day. But as they work with you, as they go to the garden with you, as they cook with you, they teach you, you put some nuggets in there. And so the whole experience is that much richer.
Yeah.
That child will remember things you say to them while you're cooking, easier than, when mom came to me and pointed her finger, said, don't you, this world is like, it's like they cannot relate, So this becomes so, I love it. I love it. And let me tell you, from the cooking on Tuesday, then they want to eat more and more and more of what you're feeding yourself on. First of all, we buy the food, we feed the families. We are the ones who feed our families. So when the family is eating a certain way, it is our doing as the parents.
Right.
Now, when we've found, but also from a place of love, when we find the right path, we kind of want to show off everyone. As moms, a lot of the times you start a program, you want to pull everyone with you. Then you fall off, everybody falls off. But when you actually live it, and everyone is seeing all the positives, they're like, I want to eat mommy's food.
Yes.
Like mommy's food may be And I know that your food, of course, because you're a chef, your food is
Yes.
not bland, but the children, there's a lady who says she eats the blandest vegetables. But she says, Jerry,
Mm.
my daughter is so on board. I want to eat what
Wow.
mommy eats. Like, I don't care. I just want to eat.
Right.
And she's been like that for 6 months, 7 months now. Her daughter completely transformed how she eats. So it's so amazing. It's so amazing. And I
Right.
thank you. I thank you. Now there's one. I unfortunately had some other ladies. What you describe is what is called the rushing woman syndrome,
Mm.
where we're always rushing, we're always chasing, we're always, especially us as women, we're multitaskers,
Yeah.
but we're also multitasking in places that don't serve our families. A
Mm.
lot of our multitasking today is money related,
Yeah.
either money related or we're multitasking in spaces where we can be seen and celebrated.
Yes.
We're volunteering in this charity, that organization, we are supporting young girls and everything. But
Right.
where is our family in that which we're doing?
Right.
And where is our health in that which we're doing? So we're not giving.
Yeah.
So I've got ladies who started on the program and they just said, I'm so busy, I need something that is, like just tell me what to do. I want you to speak to that, being that you have been in that space where you're holding more than one job, you're
Yes.
traveling a lot, you have children, you had
Yes.
body aches, you had weight issues, but you
Yes.
had to find a way. Like something has got to give.
Yeah.
Something has got to give. So I'd like you to speak to that, please, so that anyone
Yes.
who is really in that space can hear from a person, because they may think I'm not in a corporate role anymore, so it's
Right.
different for me, but I would like you to speak to that.
Absolutely. I would glad to. I would, without a doubt. Yeah. Because what you just described was me. Give me that quick fix. Let me know. It kind of like you're adding another task to your checklist to get through, but you just can't. You have to get that stop. Yeah, so absolutely. And it changes your life because how you feel, how I felt, Jerry, I had gotten to a point where, and it's sad even when I think about it, it's like I was like a robot, literally, yeah? When I have to kind of like reflect over the last 3 years, I feel like I have there's that shallow, I can't recall, because my life was boom, 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 boom. Like you said, it's making the money, running around, I'm volunteering in church, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't have many fond memories. But I will wake up today, and when I wake up, I'll wake up and I choose how my day is going to be. That is amazing. And choosing it is, even if the dishes are out there and I haven't done them, it's okay. Focus. It's okay. The world is not going to change because I have a dirty kitchen or stuff. I am just going to embrace what I feel my soul is connecting to today. And it's so powerful. My kids are so engaged. It's amazing. My son, so this is a funny story. So I have to tell you this. So my son, so the older twin, so he's been in Michigan. He's been working in Michigan, and then he changed jobs. And so he's now moving back to Wisconsin, where I am. And it worked out in a way where he was starting his job July 3rd, but he wasn't going to move into his new place until August 1st. So in between that time, he's like, ma'am, I don't know what I can do. And I'm like, come home and just be home for that time. it's been fun, which is amazing. He's like, who have you become? Because I'll just be laying in my room, then he'll come and he has his beer or whatever, and we're sitting and we're talking, and it's like, I feel like a child again. It's like literally, it feels like a 10-year-old. In a way, for a moment, and I have to learn to forgive myself for what I didn't do right, because indirectly, it's like I was too busy, that he didn't have this time for me then. And he told me this, he said, my goodness, this was such a blessing that I came over during this time. And I'm thinking probably the month that he was home recently probably was more than I gave him in 6 or 7 years or so of his life growing up. And I was like, man, it hurts me, but I thank God that God gave me that chance to show him.
Sorry, what did you say? There was someone driving past the resident. You said,
Sure. I said, what I gave him in this month probably is a lot more than I gave him during the time when he was with me growing up as a kid, because I was fully present. This guy, because I was doing consulting, I'm traveling Monday, Thursday, I come and I'm like, hey, get your stuff done, like do this. But he's got to see his mama lay down in pajamas, doing nothing. What are we doing? And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, there's a part of me that feels sad that he grew up probably and I didn't have that time for me. But the grace that God gave me to be able to give him that he cherished for this month, I'm thankful. I really am thankful.
All the time. That's so beautiful.
Mhm.
That is so beautiful.
Yes.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes. It's like God, people talk so much about, which I agree, social media is like this, all these horrific stories. But if there's any story I can tell, is how I met you. Because hadn't it been for social media, there was no way we could have connected in any way. And even then in a silent way, because like I said, I'll be watching you. What is your famous one? I give you that side eye. I'll be like, And then this new, which is a lesson to all of us. It's like anybody that's in your life, treat them with kindness, treat them with attention. Who knew this person out there called Jerry would honestly come into my life and be the one that God assigned to help me walk through this journey that I was so way overdue. Honestly, I needed to do the work to be where I am today. It's powerful.
If anyone listens to you, they'll be thinking, what did Jerry do? Like, okay, they will come with expectations to say, Jerry is going to sit with me every day. Jerry is going to hold my hand. I mean, all I did was present the program to you. A few tips here and there. So when you're saying all these things, I'm also thinking, which program have you done that has brought all this healing and all of this? I think, Sylvia, it's also because you did your work. And when I say you did your work, you took the information in and allowed yourself to be, there's no other way. You allowed yourself to be teachable. You allowed yourself in America, doing the work that you do, the consultancies and everything, you allowed yourself to let one Jerry back home in Uganda, who's a Zumba instructor, feed into you.
Right.
Because I know some people will be saying, okay, but what are her credentials? What are her qualifications? Like, okay, so she's doing Zumba and she's back in Uganda. She's back to possibly teach me, because all the information is out there in the
Right.
US and whatever. And the research that I've done, everything that I know, I've done on the internet.
Right.
But on the consulting with my heart and checking how, my grandparents, all the older folks lived, and I found the truth there. So for you out there to say, let me take a chance on this one and see where we're going to go, that can be God. That can only be
into that.
and I am blown away times 1,000 by all the things that you say, even for the time from 3rd of July to August that you had with your son.
Yes.
To be able to make up for all his 30 years that you raised him, and you feel like you were rushing, that you read him, lazy mom laying in her bed, spending the day in happy job. Like, we're just living. She's not running around doing anything. I mean, all you did was on a wellness program. And
right.
I love it. Sylvia, I want to I want to keep talking to you forever, but I have to let you go. It's been, I had tons of questions that I wanted to ask, but from the minute you started, I said, I just want to listen. I just want to listen. I want to ask.
Yes.
And it's so beautiful. It's been so powerful, so enriching to quit a job, to quit this, to quit the life that you have known for so long. This program is huge. It is. And you've talked about HIV patients. I noted it down and I said to myself, I don't want to go looking for them, but I just said to myself, God, find me a circle that I can influence. Find me a circle that I can influence, that can also go and help. Because people take medication and then go and eat the worst food.
Yes.
The food that we have available every day. So how you have to be on that medication forever?
Yes.
You absolutely, because the medication is only holding you together and the food is trying to take everything apart. So the medication strikes a balance. Continue eating badly, continue with these meds. A few years down the road, we'll change the meds when the side effects, start, then and so if we can do the food and change, that would be super powerful. And
absolutely.
I know that it has started where it has started. It's going to go places, and I will let God lead. I also have that. So when I'm in flow, I just do me. I do what makes me happy, and what makes me happy makes other people happy. It's easy for me to express things, and I feel like I'm in such truth that anything I'm saying is 100% true. I will not tell you how I know. I just know, and it makes sense. And then whenever I try to come out of that and build the structures that everyone says, oh, this is what you need. Like you said, when a program starts, these are the kind of things, like they'll give you pamphlets and things that are very scripted. I tried, but I said every time I try to do that, the program just becomes, it's not, I don't want to do it. So I said, go in with my heart, and I will speak and be led, and that's how I'll go. Because if I try to do it the other way, I feel like I'm taking away from it. So everything you've been saying, I've just been like, my head is about to burst. Just to say, it is okay for me to just do me
Yeah.
today
Yes.
and to do best today and let
Right.
my take care of everything else that needs to be taken care of. And that for
Amen.
me is going away. That this is perfect, this is right, exactly the way it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Sylvia,
Absolutely.
thank you from the very deepest, bottomest part of my heart. I thank you because
You're
God,
very welcome, Jerry.
God brought me to you, and He brought you to. He brought you
Yes,
to me. He really brought.
absolutely. Yes.
I've checked 100 boxes with you, and the whole time it's just been beautiful. And we've not talked about the food.
Yes.
The food is I know, I wanted to talk about your daughter's graduation and how you went through that. But listen, after everything said, it was only natural that you were going to go through your daughter's graduation that way, that you were not going to fall off the wagon. You talked about walking. Before we go, just talk about how busy you were all day, and your friend talked about your limb.
Yes. So that was a huge one because, and I had actually gotten defensive about it because every single time that I moved, I knew it's like people are watching me. I remember going to a party, and then one of the guys who's pretty old said, "Did you hurt your foot today?" Because that was the first time he was seeing me. And that's when I realized, oh my goodness, I have a problem. So this friend of mine, actually, I remember, which is amazing. I'm actually meeting her today. So she looked at me, and the first time she asked me, what is wrong with you? And I was very, very defensive about it. I said, I just had myself in the gym. I would always make up stories and stuff like this. And she saw me after a while, and when she looked at me, she said, "To your limp." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, that had become part of you. I don't know if you were just doing it for the sake of this or what. And I said, "Really, Julia?" This is what she said. Yeah. This is amazing. What happened? So actually, even today, as we speak, she's like, you need to give me the scoop. What happened? So this was a friend, really, who was so, and I think she said it out of concern. When she first saw me walk, it's like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Because she was even a lot more overweight than I was, but I was struggling, with the limping and all that. And then now all of a sudden she looks at me and the limp is gone. What happened? So that's our story, and I'll probably give you more today, but yeah, because she's stopping by this afternoon. But yeah,
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, Sylvia. To God, I really am grateful for how far this has gone and will go even with other people. So thank you. I will speak to your brother after this call.
Yes.
And, I'll speak to your brother. Then we'll see. I'm actually, every time I have a person who comes to me and they've got a challenging situation, I'm like, yay, let's talk. I'm
Right.
so excited. So I think I look forward to talking to him, to seeing how I can help, because every time I offer to help also, I'm learning. I'm learning together every day, So I'm really good. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Jerry.
Now.
Okay.
Thank you. You have yourself a I want to come back to you on the interview with your children. I want that one. We'll talk about
Trust
it.
me, yeah. I really think I think I even want to hear it, because that perspective will be a special one. So absolutely, let's do that. Yes.
Okay, I'll just stop the recording now.
All right. All right.